You're kidding me. Jeff and Randy, both of you are telling me now that the Chinese are involved with the Mirage brothers in San Luis, Mexico?
Evil men don't understand justice. That's the focus of this podcast series. In this episode, we talk about how the Mexicans worked with the Chinese. I want to begin by asking Randy a question. Randy, how did you find out about the Mexicans and the Chinese working together?
Back in Los Angeles, where I did probably most of my work, we weren't just working with DEA, we were working with LAPD as well. I did a lot of surveillance in South Central LA. I personally witnessed watching a house that was full of Hispanics. All of a sudden, we would see a car pull up and what appeared to be Chinese nationals get out with duffel bags. We would watch them go into the Mexican house, and we would literally like, oh my God, there's going to be a gunfight here. The Chinese don't work with the Mexicans. Nothing. Everything was silent. Chinese would come back out after 20 minutes, no duffel bags, get in the car and go. And this happened a fair amount of times. So we realized after surveillance and following the vehicles of both the Mexicans and the Chinese, we were able to piece together that there was for the first time ever, a Chinese and Mexican working together in the drug trade.
They started looking at information they were getting from their informants down in Mexico, as the book explains how they got involved looking at a maquiladora owned by people from Los Angeles, California. They sent 2 PIs down there to find out what's going on, because I was going to seize the trucks because the Mirage brothers were hiding heroin inside the furniture trucks. I was going to take a truck, and they gave me information that a Chinese seafood company, which is called Bluefin, out of Los Angeles, California, I did not want to get involved with anything with Chinese. I was staying focused on the brothers.
You gave a lot of information to Larry. What was it you told him that helped him in his case?
Jeff got information from Arizona that some of the seafood trucks that drugs were in were coming to Los Angeles, ultimately to the Bluefin Company. And I had already developed and was doing surveillance on the Bluefin Company because of my local informants telling me that the Chinese are running this, lots of drugs coming out of there, and they're protected. Now you combine that with watching the Chinese go see the Mexicans, and we start to realize that this is a place we have to pay attention to. So it's at that point that we really brought a lot of this up to Larry. He didn't really want to hear the Chinese were involved in things. And to be honest with you, LAPD didn't want to hear it. One of the main guys I was working with there, I told him, if you punch up the Bluefin Company on your computer, you're going to get a phone call. So he calls me up one day and he says, I finally ran Bluefin. And you know what? I did get a phone call from the front desk telling me that 2 CIA agents were on their way up to see me. He said, I don't want to talk to him. So he went and shut his door and never did talk to him. Nobody wanted to believe that they were connected.
Chinese white heroin? That goes right into California, Long Beach. When I looked them up and saw this information about the seafood company, the Bluefin, I said, I got to look more into it. I told my confidential informants they were living in Mexico with the Mirages. Within days, both informants, they tell me, yeah, they meet with the Chinese. Oswaldo does shrimp business with a Chinese organization from Los Angeles in Chinatown. They take shrimp. I said, what do you think is going on? He said, well, the brothers are involved in drugs. But he started giving up Olegario and Oswaldo, that they were the drug traffickers, not him. According to what I was learning from the private investigators and from my confidential sources, the Bluefin Seafood Company began in 1974, right after the Vietnam. It was a startup operation by the CIA. I know one thing, the Mirage brothers bragged about their connection with CIA. Why are they going to Gulfo, Mexico, which is about a 2-hour drive? Oswaldo had a shrimp business there. And according to my informants, they seen tiger shrimp, which is probably about this long. They would fillet the tail and they would put the white bindles between the tails. of that Tiger shrimp. No one's going to search shrimp trucks, but I did. I did search it. It cost a lot of money because I did not find any white heroin. The informant takes a trip with Oswaldo Miraz. They flew a small commercial airline out of Yuma. I watched them get on the plane, and they flew right into Los Angeles, and they were seen by DEA to get off that plane and go right into Chinatown, and guess what? Nothing happened. When the informant came back with Oswaldo Miraz, he said, Larry, nothing happened. They wouldn't talk to me. I said, what do you mean? I think someone was following us. He didn't know the DA agents, they were following my informant and Oswaldo down to Chinatown to meet with the Chinese leaders.
Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, click like and subscribe below. And if you're enjoying the stories in these podcasts, click the link below in the description box to get more details. This is the end of this episode of Evil Men Don't Understand Justice. We hope you will join us again next week for more true stories from Larry and Ren. You will also enjoy Larry's other 2 books, Fighting My Greatest Enemy, Myself, and Home is Never the Same. These books can be found at pathofthedevil.com or larryrayharden.com.